Hello everyone and welcome to summer of 2017. As you see, I have a new pedal board that I've kind of scratch made out of some wood that I had lying around, and I've adorned it with some lovely pedals, and I want to show you how these pedals and maybe pedals like it that you have or can get and can help you get the most out of your Bugera G5 or a similar low wattage amp that's pretty versatile, can cover a lot of things, but maybe I'm not a master of anything, so these pedals may help you get specific tones or help round out your sound as you're looking for something that is entirely your own. I want to also thank those of you who have left comments on a couple of my videos, mostly encouraging stuff, so that's awesome to hear. And those of you who have subscribed, I haven't checked last, but there are a handful of, a good number of subscribers to the channel. That's something for me who I don't really put a lot of effort into this channel, but I have fun making videos, and I hope you have fun watching them and sharing them and using what you can from them. So without further ado, let's dive in. I want to show you, I'm going to show you a clip right now of some high definition video or some video of an overlay of the board and how I have it wired. So the guitar goes straight into the Fulltone Octafuzz, then into the MXR Phase 90, and then into the Xotic EP Booster, and that runs into the front end of the amp. And then you'll see how I have the amp set up when I'm playing at home, and this is what I'm going to show you right now is my default home setup. So I'm going to be playing at a lower volume. I've got it set to 1 watt because usually I'm playing with my wife and my son in the room or in the adjacent room, so I can't have it too loud. So I've got it set at 1 watt, and that's how I'm going to be doing this video. A couple of videos later I'm going to be showing you kind of the range of volume at 5 watts and a couple of the tones you can go for if you're by yourself or you don't have to worry about volume. So I'm at 1 watt, pretty low volume. The gain on the overdrive channel, which I've got it set to, and I pretty much leave it on there. Well, if I want to go clean, I just use the volume control on my guitar. So the gain you'll see is probably around maybe between 10 and 11 o'clock. So it's not that high. At 1 watt, I'm going to show you that at 1 watt you kind of lose a little bit of the top end, a little bit of the mid. So I've got all of those dialed in. The bass a little bit below 12 o'clock, and reverb at around 9 o'clock or so. And so the first thing I want to show you is my always on pedal for this setup. And that's actually in the loop. I haven't showed you the loop yet. So out of the send, I go into the TC Electronic Spark, then the Donner Yellow Fall Delay, and then into the looper by again by TC Electronic. So my always on pedal is the Spark. And like I was saying before, why that is because when you have it attenuated down to 1 watt, you seem to lose a little bit of the highs and the mids. So how I have the TC set up is it's on the mid setting for a mid push. Gain is all the way down. No attenuation or boost on the low frequencies, but I do have the high frequencies boosted. And I've got the level set at about 12 o'clock, so that just gives me just a little bit of level boost. Because it's in the loop, that mid boost and that high gain is really heard and it's really clear because it's not being compressed by the front end of the amp. So that's why I've got it running through the loop. So let me show you what the amp sounds like. I'll have my volume up at about 7 or so. And I'll show you what it sounds like with the Spark off and with the Spark on. Okay? Okay, so that was all just the amp. 1 watt at the volume settings that you saw. Let's put in the Spark. right back and forth on just a single chord, so you can kind of hear it right back and forth. So you see and you can hear, hopefully, how the mids really come out and make the amp more present. So playing at lower volumes, it's a lot more satisfying to play because the notes are a lot fuller and fatter with those mid ranges pushed. So that's my always on pedal. That'll stay on all the time. And so let's go on through the front end of the amp and look at some of these pedals now. So the Octafuzz, this is the oddball pedal. If you don't know how to use an Octafuzz, it's a lot of fun to play if you know how to use it. So the nice thing about this Fulltone is you can use it either with the octave, or you can use that switch and dip it down just into fuzz setting, and then you just get like a, I want to say it's just like a germanium transistor fuzz, kind of like a fuzz face. Maybe a little bit, from what I saw and heard on some videos, maybe a little bit more gain, a little bit more hairy than your typical fuzz face fuzz, but it's definitely within the Hendrix realm. But I usually have it on the fuzz setting, and so when you're using an Octafuzz, you want to use your neck pickup, ideally a single coil or something lower output, because the octave, the way the circuit works, it's very sensitive. And when you're playing, you really want to play single note or double stops. Double stops can even get a little hairy sometimes if you can't control it. And you want to play from about the 7th or 9th fret to about the 15th fret. So, you know, your box 1 E minor blues pentatonic, that's right in the ballpark for this Octafuzz. Now, let me turn my volume all the way to hear how much gain I have on the amp. I've got, you know, a fair amount of gain, probably more than Jimmy would have had. So it's a lot of gain in the front end of the amp. But what that does is, if you don't really like the sound of a fuzz, if you think it's too harsh, adjusting how much gain you have in the front end of your amp really smooths out the sound of the fuzz, and you get an interesting tone. So without further ado, let me show you what the octave sounds like. I'm gonna have the volume all the way up, and then I'll kind of back it down and kind of adjust how I'm playing to show you how the octave works. This is how I usually use it, because I'll show you in a little bit. So it is a lot of fun to play with. Very articulate for being a fuzz pedal. Probably because that octave adds in that high. The pick attack is amplified as well. And you heard, as I hold on to a note, as it decays, more of the octave actually comes out, which is really cool. It's almost simulating like a feedback until the note actually dies. So like that bend or that hold on the G string at the 12th fret. It's so satisfying to play because it just holds on for forever and then decays into the octave. If you just want to hear what the fuzz sounds like, the fuzz is, you know, pretty grungy. I was using it to play. I heard no, I didn't hear. I made an old CD just for the car ride, and I was looking through old recordings that I had, and Wolf Mother's Woman came up, and I was like, yeah, that's kind of a fuzzy song. bridge pickup, full humbucker. So a very versatile pedal, kind of takes you back to the 60s and 70s when that was a very popular sound. Very satisfying to play. Up next, MXR Phase 90. Van Halen fans will know this one well. It is the analog phaser. I use it two ways. Of course, for Van Halen type stuff. So it just adds, I put in the EP Booster there too. So he used it all on his solos, for almost all of his solos for Van Halen 1. And it just adds that little movement to the note, and sometimes it kind of gives you a little bit of boost, especially in the high ends, which is very nice for soloing. But also, in conjunction with the Octafuzz, or just the fuzz, you can kind of use it to fake, if you don't have a vibe pedal, you can kind of fake a univibe type sound, or a Leslie type sound if you turn the rate up. Put in a little bit of fuzz there. I kind of use it both ways, just because I don't have a vibe. I don't feel a need just to buy that, so I kind of fake it with the Phase 90. Up next, you kind of heard it already, the EP Booster, infamous for its ability to bring out the most in your tone. I'll use it mostly when I'm playing Van Halen, or just because I have the amp set lower in gain. It's just usually just my lead gain setting. So you kind of see it. I've got it at about 10, 11 o'clock, and I'll try to play just a chord. I'll hold it. Actually, what I can do is, to really show the difference, is I am on single note, like harmonics, pinch harmonics, is in sustain of the note. I'll kind of show you that. So I'll hold a note, do a couple harmonics. I'll try to show you the difference. So first, without it. Harmonic just jumps a little bit easier, so that's nice. You don't have to have as much gain playing at lower volume, which is good because then you retain a lot of the pick attack, retain a lot of the clarity of the note. But then the EP Boost just gives your signal just the right amount of boost, and very satisfying to play. A very fun pedal to use. Going on to the loop, then I already showed you the Spark, the Donner, which is the cheapest pedal on the board at about $35, I think. They might even be cheaper now. But I use this again for lead playing, Van Halen type stuff. You see how it's set in the video. Feedback is all the way down, so it's only one repeat. And the echo level is set pretty low. The time, I couldn't tell you in milliseconds. My ear is not that good, but you can make that assertion for yourself. You can also kind of use it, turn up the feedback and you turn up the echo, turn down that. You can kind of use it to do dotted eighth note runs. It's analog, digital, I don't know. I hear conflicting things about it. All I know is it does the part that I need it to do fairly well, because again, mostly I have it set for a little bit longer delay, one delay, one repeat, just for that, that single slap. Just add a little bit of dimension to your sound. And you know what a looper does, of course. But I think that's about it. Thank you for your time. If you want me to do any specifics, more in depth on any of the pedals, be more than willing to do that. And if you want me to do any other videos with what I have here, or if you want to talk about anything, leave a comment, leave a question. I look forward to reading them. Thank you for your time. Have a good day.